I'm Ted Corless. Welcome to our docu-series, Voices on the Death Penalty. Today we meet Christine Henderson. Christine works for the Equal Justice USA organization, focused on the elimination of the modern death penalty. I had an opportunity to sit down with Christine in Montgomery, Alabama. She and I and a group of individuals visited the Legacy Museum as well as the National Memorial for Peace and Justice. It's important to meet people like Christine to know the work that they've done for the preservation of human dignity, the value of human life, and the importance of justice for all.
My name's Christine Henderson. I'm a national organizer for Equal Justice USA. I'm also the senior collective healing strategist. Oddly enough, I wasn't looking for a job with EJUSA initially. I was kind of in the social justice world. I spent 5.5 years working for Southern Poverty Law Center, and I was an organizer around juvenile justice reform. And so I kind of got bits and pieces, and we helped change policies, we helped to shut down prisons, and I kind of was engulfed in that world. And I was going through some things where I needed to take a step back, and I stepped away a little bit from social justice work just because it's a lot. And, but it's one of those things where when there's a path laid out for you and there's a job or a responsibility that's for you, it comes back. Started doing a little bit of policy work for the community of color around access to healthy foods. And someone sent me an email and said, I saw this and the only person I thought of was you. So I started researching EJUSA a little bit more. I knew of them, I knew their work, but I didn't know how intense their building bridges work is. A lot of the work with the death penalty is bridging the gap, conservative concern, right? They're working with conservatives. They're reaching out to the police departments, sheriffs, we have officers coming out and saying, this doesn't work. And so I felt something different because you kind of feel as an organizer, sometimes it's us against them. You have your side, your position, and we're prepared to take them on. I like the way EJUSA's model was working. It's like we have to bridge the gap to win. And they have a pretty good success rate of it was 8 states ending the death penalty, and then in northern, we're working on the south. But it shows that their strategy worked. It's like, no, we sit with conservatives and we talk with them and we work with the evangelicals to help bring them around. And we work with folks so that they can help us see how we can better, have a better dialogue so that we can bridge the gap. And I saw that it was successful, and I said, wow, I like this. And I think just seeing somebody doing something different, doing it differently, really impressed me. And when I got in and doing it, I've never felt better. I've lost an uncle. He was murdered. So I know how it feels to say I lost someone and vengeance is mine. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help my mom. That was her baby brother. It's not going to help my kids who will never get to meet their great uncle. So there's a connection there for me. I kind of understand, I was angry. I'm still hurt. He's never coming back. He's my favorite uncle. But what am I going to do? How do you live in a society where you tell people, let's kill people to teach people not to kill people? It doesn't make any sense to me. It won't heal me. And I feel like working to educate people and showing them that and helping abolish something as horrific as a death penalty for me is it's super helpful. So I appreciate EJUSA for showing me a different way to bring people to the table to make change. So I'm here on this trip to kind of open the door for folks. We have some amazing leaders that have been fighting the fight in Florida around addressing the death penalty, wanting to abolish it, but really focusing on educating. And I was able to do this trip before we were able to get this group together. And when I had that experience of walking through and seeing what I saw, and I will share this. As an organizer, you kind of like, you stay focused on what you got to do, what your goals are. And so a lot of the work that I do in the state is I work with our outlier counties, Jacksonville, Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Miami, because they have the higher usage of the death penalty, not just in the state, on a national level, right? And so I immediately was kind of running around, and when you're at the memorial site and you're looking up and you're looking at kind of the, you're looking at these blocks hanging down with names on these counties. And my initial reaction was, let me find Tampa, click, click. Let me find Jacksonville, click, click, right? But I'm passing Alachua, I'm passing Leon, I'm passing all these other counties in my state, and I felt wrong. Like, I felt like we have to be doing much more than this. I may have a focus on my work on focusing on 4 counties, but I walked by county after county after county that had a story, that people were hung from trees just because of the color of their skin. And I just felt wrong to just focus on Jacksonville, Tampa, St. Pete, and Miami. And so the next morning I woke up at like 6 in the morning. I call Mark Elliott, completely emotional, in tears. I don't even think he really understood me the first 10 minutes of the conversation. And I just said, Mark, it's wrong. I don't know what we're going to do, but we have to do something. We can't just focus on the 4. We have to lift the voices of the many. And I just cried, and he just listened, and he said, let's do it. What do we need to do? And I just explained to him the emotions and what I felt from just that day of my experience, and said, the folks that we're working with in Florida need to see this. They need to feel this. When you're doing the work and you're out there and you have your talking points and you kind of know what you're doing, it's great, right? But when you're passionate, when you go somewhere and you hear a story and it moves you, you see a picture and it touches you, that empowers you. That makes you want to engage. And that makes, when you're out there, it's 100% genuine, And what I want our leaders, our county leaders, and what we call them is our foot soldiers, right? These folks that are part of this meeting, they come from all walks of life. The leadership, grass top, the folks who've been just, grassroots organizing, just moving in many circles, right? And they know the work and they know what they have to do. And sometimes the work is tiring. You're fighting against the tide, right? It's tiring. So you need moments and opportunities like this, right? To get empowered, to all I wanted to do was walk out there and say, what are we going to do to take this on? We're going to win. And we've been winning these last 3 years. And I feel like we came to a place where it was like, now is necessary. We've had progress, we see opportunities, and this is a great time to just bring people together and let's educate ourselves. Let's have this moment, and then let's regroup and let's go at it again, because that's what we have to do.